So tell us your name and what you do.
My name is Sharon, and I am a peace educator. I was a teacher for 3 years, or an educator at the Democratic School in Hod Sharon, where I was the coordinator for the peer mediation program and taught conflict resolution classes and English and all kinds of other stuff.
And where do you consider your hometown?
That is a complicated question. I guess Ra'anana, Israel, but also California. But I think when we go home, I go to Israel.
So how best to mediate with children?
Well, there's a lot of there's two different things I think about that question. It's like there's the formal mediation process at schools, like in an institution of education.
Institution.
So kids learn the formal process of mediation, which is very similar to what adult mediation looks like, where there's stages, and it starts with telling them what mediation is, and then telling each side tell their story, and then the mediators ask questions and try to understand where each side's coming from and reflect that back to the parties, and then come up with creative solutions, and then come up with an agreement. And that's a formal mediation. And then there's also just kind of the skills that go along with knowing how to mediate conflicts, like how to deal with your emotions and strategies for dealing with difficult situations. And yeah, I mean, so I think if like you're doing a formal mediation with kids, then they have to learn this whole process. But if it's informal, then they can just learn how to like identify what they need and what they're feeling, and learn about how to talk or communicate in a way that that gets across like what they need in the conflict and resolve conflicts.
So of course I need to ask, how do you mediate if a child doesn't like hummus?
Well, I think the best way to get kids to do something that they don't want to do is to force them. If a kid doesn't want to eat hummus, it's all right. They don't have to.
Well, what's the most common mistake parents make in mediation with kids?
Well, not being a parent. I mean, this is like, my opinion, but I think that a mistake that people make is just not listening. Like, I think, or taking behavior at face value and not really digging deeper into like what it is that's behind the behavior, and trying to really figure out what that person needs. And so really just listening and having compassion and like not losing your cool which is really hard when kids are doing things that you don't want them to do. But
Someone gets
Any difference between Israeli kids and American kids?
Kids are kids. I think Israeli kids are very, how shall I say, boisterous? I don't know, loud, obnoxious? No, I'm kidding. But I think kids are kids everywhere, and the basic kidness of them stays the same.
So what do you see as the most important environmental factors for kids?
Well, I have a feeling this is going to be like my I'm a hippie answer, but like I think that given the differences in material environments that kids have all over the world, the one thing that they all need is love and unconditional love, and then the environment matters less. I mean, if they have at least one person, preferably more, that sees them for who they are and really accepts them unconditionally, not necessarily their behavior, but who they are, and loves them unconditionally, that would probably be the most important factor of all.
What would you like to say about Israel in closing?
Israel is... I don't have anything brilliant to say right now, I'm sorry. I think Israel is a messed up, lovely place that, just like everywhere else, has its issues, and people are doing the best that they can, and right now they're not doing a great job.